Good morning everyone. Well, it might not be morning where you are, but we are on a little bit of a road trip today. We have been umming and ahhing about the bee flock. We've got about 80 ewes now and just one Aber Black tup. That tup could probably tup all of those ewes, but I'm not a risk taker, and today we are actually going tup shopping. But I'm going to leave a little bit of suspense because you guys have a little bit of guess where we're going, what we're going to be buying. Hope you enjoyed today, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe. So, if you hadn't guessed already, we have headed back to see Matt once again. And what have you got for us today?
So we've got a group of Suffolk shearling rams.
Yep.
So these are the Bentley Suffolks that we sell. So these are all March born, all off the grass system like we do. And all with their performance records for you to have a look at as well.
Cool,
so if you can find one that you might like.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. And you're actually the Suffolks you've had on the farm for a long time, haven't you?
Exactly, yeah. So I'm the third generation with the Suffolk. So 1960 was when the Bentley flock was started.
Yeah.
So quite a long time. Yeah. So, and some of the genetics will have carried through from there. So
that's quite cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of breeding in the background of these boys. Yeah.
Right, let's get on with it, and I'll try and pick a couple out. But they all look good, so it's going to be quite hard. I like that one.
Yes.
So these are the initial half a dozen we've just picked out. So in here we've got 2 3/4 Aber Blacks, 7/8, yeah, and then the rest are actually purebred Suffolks. So what we're going to do now, as we did last time, if any of you watched the video, is all the figures are here. So they're all performance recorded, and we have scan weight, muscle depth, fat depth, and their overall index, which kind of gives you their performance figures. Is that right? Or
exactly
anything to add?
No, that's it. And then I just try and make it easier to compare. So we just compare them against the rest of the UK Suffolks.
Yeah.
So if they're in a red box, that puts them in the top 5% of the breed for those specific traits. And then top 10 if they're in blue, and a bit further down different colours. And then we have a little bit of a range. Some people will be looking to keep ewe lambs, so the maternal index would be really interesting. Other guys, if you're just trying to produce fat lambs, then really growth, muscle and fat.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Looking at perhaps today.
So obviously these are going for the bee flock. We're not breeding them pure. So our main aim is to get a fat lamb from these. Probably that. Yeah.
836. Okay, so 836. It's a good start.
Yeah.
So 836, right at the top of the breed. So he's probably top 1% for growth. Good muscle. He's a little bit lower on fat. Some guys that are finishing off grass would be saying he's a bit on the leaner side.
Right.
So just, are you going to get the lambs big enough beforehand? Yeah. However, if you were saying that some of your lambs were finishing a little bit light, then that might be a positive thing. And overall traits, he's very good. So very good growth. It'll just be interesting to compare his fat depth to some of the others. 814. Yeah, so again, very good on his growth, 7.9. He's very positive on his fat.
Yeah.
So again, that would really suit if you were struggling to get the finish on the lambs. He would be a really good option for that.
The different muscles, will that affect how they kill out? Do you think it'll up a grade, or is it not that extreme? Or
possibly not that extreme.
Yeah.
That's the reason they measure the muscle depth. It's a very well correlated to more meat and so you are going to generally see a bit more shape in that carcass. So this is the guy that I said was the top figure.
Yeah.
So 9 for growth, 2.9. Yeah. So across the board, he was right at the top. In
terms of scan weight, how many days would 0 be? Do you know what I mean?
So it's a really good guide for growth rate. What it's actually, the actual figure is telling you is between 8 weeks and when they were measured, which was probably around 16 weeks here. On average, his progeny will be 6 kilo, or if you take the average of the breed, is 1.7 and he's 9.7. they're going to be 8 kilos heavier.
Right.
However, to caveat that, he's only passing on half of his genes.
Yeah, you got
so
the U too.
Half it as well. So you're saying he's going to be 4 kilos heavier
I see.
in that window.
For mice, it's probably between having seen that. It's probably between those two and the high index. So now narrow it down to 3. In my head, what I've gone for is obviously a mixture of figures and looks. Some people entirely go off looks, and then some people figures. I'm a bit in between.
I think that's the majority of people. So I think using a balance of the two is exactly what people are. You know, they're using the figures that we've got to narrow it down.
Is it more like a New Zealand type, the longer?
Longer the leg and slightly finer headed. From an ease of lambing point of view, that's something that we're trying to focus on, is getting that finer front and then big wide. And
between, there's not a big jump. Obviously his figures are the best, but from those two to him, it's not huge, is it?
Quick, easier finishing packs, but in terms of growth rates, they're all very, very much near the top of the grade, so. This year, so very different to last year on that front, but they, yeah, it is all off grass, yeah.
He handles really well, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I'll go with him. I'll go with my initial.
Brilliant.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Spot on. Well. Yeah, I think usually the one that catches your eye first.
Well, that's it.
How many times you go around.
Yeah.
But I think what you've described, he ticks all the boxes.
So that is the decision made. We've gone for the middle one of these 3, which is probably the one that's got a bit more height and length on him. Then we got the really high performance one. If you feel him, he's a very well made up ram. He's just got probably a little bit more muscle than him, but I think for what we're looking for, he's the right lad for us. No, really happy. Yeah. Well, that is us done. We have a new tup coming home, and it probably isn't not what you were expecting too. So we came to have a look at Aber Blacks. I told Matt, just get the Suffolks in, we'll have a nosy at them too, because some of the Aber Blacks are going off to all the sales too, so there's probably a few less to pick from than we had last year. But yeah, we did end up going for a pedigree Suffolk tup. Might not have been what we really went out, set out and get, but really exciting. So a little bit different. He's got a bit more stretch and size about him than the Aber Black. So the Aber Black is obviously approximately 50% Suffolk, 50% Charolais, whereas obviously pedigree Suffolk is 100% Suffolk. Top figured ram. So the Aber Black that we bought last year, he was middle section, so you get elite, I can't remember, I think elite, select and commercial, where this Suffolk is in that elite class. So top figures, looks like a cracking ram too. So really excited to see what he turns out like. Really good muscle, really good growth rates. His fat is probably the only thing that I ummed and ahed about, because it's basically bog standard. Wasn't sure if we ought to have gone something with a bit more fat coverage on, just to get those lambs away quicker, but I've been told by a lot of people, if you want fast growing lambs, go for a Suffolk, and that is what we've done. So I'm going to drop him off back at home, we'll take another look at him. But yeah, super excited. We've gone for something a bit out of the box. No, good boy. Righto, so he has now been through his quarantine, he's been wormed, kept away from anything else just to make sure all okay. And if I'm honest, I trust Matt enough, but it's policy on the farm, got to do their quarantine. So let's go and see what he's looking like. Here he is, just chilling under the tree with the rest of the tups. Oh man, nice lad, isn't he? We are extremely happy with him. He has not lost any condition since he's got here, and as a lot of you know, Matt's system where he runs them, they've never touched any corn at all. They're on a forage based system, so clean tups. And yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing what his lambs come out like. Obviously, as I said before, he's going to be working with the Aber Black, who's just chilling there. Is that what all you thought we were going to go and buy? Hopefully you got a good enough look at him there. They are in the shade under the tree because it is a very hot day this week. It's going to be like 26, 27 degrees every day. So yeah, chilling in there. One thing I will say is I do like using a black face tup on our commercial flock, because then it's fairly obvious the split at lambing time, what's commercial, what's pedigree. You're not getting overcomplicated by stuff. Oh guys, massive thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe.